would have had this one, you know, if we could take this swirl of branches and move it down to here, that would be just about ideal, but it's after the fact and we can't really do that.
So this has gotten way too tall, because we didn't prune them last year at all.
Well, and it depends on what you're doing. If you're mowing the grass and stuff here, this may not be too tall, but most of the time you're going to start a little bit lower down. This one will be easier to open up. We're just going to go in and take the whole thing out. And we're going to... That's going to leave 5, and we probably don't need 5, so I would take that out. And here we have a situation where this one is way more dominant than the other, so we're going to head that back really hard and probably to an outward-facing bud. These are a little close. You could take that one out and just leave 3, but I don't think we want to do that.
What do you mean by an outward-facing bud?
When you prune, if you're doing hard pruning like this, the top bud you leave behind, it will grow in the direction of that bud. So if we prune to this, it's going to send the growth this way. So you never want to prune, now tipping doesn't matter so much because you're going to get a whole cluster of growth, but something that's really sizable, you prune it back, that next bud's going to become dominant. So I would probably take it to, and again, keep in mind we're trying to balance this with some of the smaller ones. I would take it back to this bud, that's going to put out growth this way.
Jamie, does it matter the angle that you're cutting at?
You want to do about a 45 angle, and you want it just a little bit above the bud.
Okay.
You get too close, you can kill the bud. You're too far above, you'll leave a stud.
Okay.
And this one could be tipped back just a little bit. And that over time, you've got 4 good branches that will develop. This probably doesn't need to be there, and you'll take that off. You also have to keep in mind that all this wood we're taking out, all the stored energy and stuff for this plant is in the root system. So you're still going to get the same amount of growth this year, whether you left all that out or not. You're just now going to get it where you want it, as opposed to going into stuff that you didn't want. Again, this is not actually perfect. I'd like to have a little more space between those, you know, and you could come in with spacers. This is not a bad angle. It's probably 45. It's a little tight. This one could have been trained out, but it's after the fact now.